what would you expect of the average politician when once they're given a 4.5 million car grant or 35,000 US dollars to do? Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. They would probably go for a vehicle like the Honda, I think CR17 or something that has a sunroof, so that they can be able to stop by the roadside once in a while and address the people at the market, from the roof, and start telling them stories. And some of them, of course, we know are what we call stories ajaba. But then there are levels in this game. Remember, we said they are politicians, but then they are leaders. So let's see what someone did with his 4.5 million car grant a few years ago. Stay tuned. Meet Maurice Kolo Nyaga, the Kirimari Ward MCA. This was back in 2018. He was a first-time MCA then. And when he got that grant, he quickly said, no, I will not buy a car for myself. But he said, let me buy an ambulance for my people. And when he was asked, he said, I actually don't have a car, but I realized that my people need ambulance, because when there's a challenge, someone has an emergency or something, they either have to use boda, which is a motorbike, or even a wheelbarrow. And of course, you know that if someone has fractured a bone or something, carrying them on a motorbike or even on a wheelbarrow, or if someone is bleeding, you expect them to get to the dispensary or to the hospital with, a lot of blood lost, or even the bone now completely out of joint. And so a lot more work is needed to actually repair the fracture or repair the joint. So Kolo analyzed the situation and bought a modern ambulance for his people. And the people are overjoyed when they actually, we had borders, and some of the hawkers actually escort the ambulance into the town center. And he promised that it would be parked at designated areas, especially for people from informal settlements who cannot afford to hire an ambulance, for them to quickly call and the ambulance will get to where they were and be able to ferry them to the nearest health facility. So you see, what happens is, in life, and especially in leadership, we generally are faced with an opportunity for either to take a self-interest or public interest. There's always that question of what comes first, okay? And so as a leader, definitely the public must come first, because that's why you are there to serve. Remember, we said, even Jesus said, the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. So meaning, you put your interest down and let the public interest override your personal interest. So Kolo had no vehicle at the time, but he realized that the public interest would be actually to get them an ambulance rather than him get a vehicle, which of course people will not remember that he bought himself a vehicle. People will not remember that, okay? Just as we were saying that even at a funeral service, no one would come and say, Babu here had a Range Rover Autobiography 2022. No one cares about that. But if he bought an ambulance for his people, now that's a different ballgame. If he put up a school for children in his community, that's a different ballgame. That's what people remember. Yes, and there's a hymn actually that says that we are only remembered by works we have done. All right, so always consider the public interest first. Let the public interest override your personal interest. And those are the values now that we need to see in leadership, okay? Politics, they would go for their self-interest, because remember, we said they love speaking on top of cars, and especially now in Kenya, I think we have seen that trend so much. That's what they love to do, all right? But a leader will look at, what do these people need? Let's get it for them, all right? Let it help them, let it alleviate, some of their suffering. Let us see how we can improve their living conditions. how we can bring some dignity to them, you know. So at least patients travel in dignity, not on a motorbike or on a wheelbarrow, but inside a modern ambulance, which has a nurse and it has drivers there 24/7. So where you are, my dear friend, the opportunity to either take care of the public or take care of yourself will always come. The option you pick tells us a lot about you and will determine whether you will be remembered long after you're gone. Shalom Aleichem. God bless you. Make the right choice.